guys, it's Emma and I'm back today for you with another video. And today we are doing the third episode of me recommending books based off of the Sara cards that I pull. Now, if you guys are not aware of what this series is, I will link the first two episodes somewhere up here so that you guys can go watch those. But the premise essentially is that I am going to take my stack of Sara cards right here. I'm going to draw 3 and then I'm going to recommend books to you guys based on the cards I pull. I have taken out the cards that I pulled in episodes 1 and 2. I will continue to do that until we basically get down to the end of the stack. So yeah, that's essentially what we're doing. And down below, first of all, I would really appreciate it if you guys would look in the description box and looking at all the links that I have there. They're about really pertinent stuff going on in the world right now. Also, in the comment section, let me know whether or not you guys are a Sara fan, still are, from like, you know, back when it was like really popular. What cards you guys liked the most, what cards you liked that I picked out in this video, you know, the usual. Okay, so with that being said, let's just get right on into it. Okay, so we're just gonna do this and hope that nobody slips. We're going to take this one. Oh no, the tomfoolery. We're gonna take this one back here, and then let's take one from the middle. We'll do this one. Perfect. Okay, so these are our 3, and you know what? We'll just go with the closest. Okay, and the horse that we have is Kentaro, and his quote is to develop your ability to lead, ask a wise person for advice. I see a desert behind Kentaro, so I'm going to recommend something that happens in a desert. I want to recommend The Final Strife by Sara El-Arifi, or the Ending Fire trilogy. I'm holding up the sequel right now because I don't have the first book with me. The Final Strife is about this empire that has 3 castes: the Embers, the Dusters, and the Ghostings. The Embers are the people that bleed red blood. They are the aristocracy and the ruling class. The Dusters are the working class of the caste system, and they bleed blue blood and they work under slave-like conditions. They don't get an education after 10 years old because that's when they're sent to go work. And then the Ghostings are the lowest caste, and they bleed transparent blood and they have their tongues and hands removed. So essentially we follow Sila, who is a duster, and she is wrapped up in a plan to throw a coup and overthrow the Embers and essentially remake the entire empire so that no one is oppressed at all. Now, I gave The Final Strife 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. It was a big book, but it was so intricate and complex, and the world building was incredible. So the reason why I want to recommend The Final Strife based on Kentaro's card is because, 1, he's in the desert, but also because of the herd that he's in. It's canon that most of, if not all of, the horses in this herd are based off of 1001 Nights, which is a group of Middle Eastern folk tales that were written in Arabic during the Islamic Golden Age. And The Final Strife is based off of African and Arabian mythology. So that's why I want to recommend The Final Strife based on Kentaro's card, and I honestly think that The Final Strife is a phenomenal start to a very exciting fantasy series that I honestly cannot wait until I can read the sequel. Now we only have 2 left, okay? And we're just gonna go one by one, the closest to me. And we have Leonardo. Okay, so Leonardo's, first of all, we've got very orange, very brown card. We have a sun in the back as well. Something brown, something yellow, something orange, something rustic. Since his name is Leonardo, and I do like to do some research on the names, Leonardo is Spanish and Italian, which means brave lion, but it also makes me think of Leonardo da Vinci. So I'm thinking maybe something with a lion or something with a painter, something like that. Based on Leonardo's card, I am going to recommend I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. This is a story about two twins, Noah and Jude. Noah is the introvert, he draws all day, and Jude is the one that goes cliff diving and is the social butterfly and talks for the both of them. And it follows two timelines, when they are younger and then when they are like older teenagers. The older timeline shows the two of them not talking together or just barely. Okay, something happened, but we don't know what the tea is. The earlier years are Noah's to tell, but the older years are Jude's to tell, and both of them only have one side of the story. So I want to recommend I'll Give You the Sun based on Leonardo's card, because Leonardo makes me think of Leonardo da Vinci, and in I'll Give You the Sun, both of the twins are artists. One feels that, you know, their work doesn't match up to the others. One of them gets into art school, the other doesn't. There's just so many references to art in this book, and I feel like the prose is very artsy as well. One might call it purple prose. I kind of like purple prose every now and then, so if you don't like purple prose, this book may not be for you, but I think that, you know, if you are here for a good coming-of-age story, this might be up your alley. Okay, you guys, so the last card that we have is Jewel. So Jewel is a bay mare with a little kind of like bridal-esque design of gemstones across her forehead. And her quote is, "I will help you to stay in a steady flow of abundance." Makes me think of Pose. If I could recommend TV shows based off of these cards, Pose automatically, just from the House of Abundance. So it's canon that Jewel was originally a golden statue that like had a bunch of jewels all over her, and she was brought to life. So I'm thinking, I mean, obviously along with the jewels all over her face, I'm thinking, you know, jewels on the cover of the book,
right?
Gemstones maybe like in the story, something along those lines. So the book that I want to recommend based on Jewel's card is Twisted Lies by Huang. Okay, this is a book about Christian and Stella. Christian is a hardcore CEO of a security company. He's a very dangerous man. And then Stella is a fashion influencer who's on her way to building her brand, and she really wants to be the owner of her own fashion brand. And they essentially come into an agreement where they both fake date one another, and their situation becomes a little steamy, if you know what I mean. I want to recommend Twisted Lies based on Jewel's card because there's like a string of pearls or like white jewel looking gems on a strand, and it's like all over the cover of the book. And then also the book is green, and there's a little bit of green on here as well. It's holographic, so I apologize, but there's a little bit of green on here. So that's why I want to recommend Twisted Lies based on Jewel's card. Twisted Lies, it's like the fourth book in the Twisted series. You don't have to read the other 3 books in the Twisted series. It just, you know, it would make the cameos a little bit more impactful, I guess. I don't know. Twisted Lies is probably my second favorite so far. I'm currently reading it. It's a pretty big book. It's like over 500 pages. And I'm of the opinion that no romance book needs to be over 500 pages long, unless it's a romance book that I like, but what are you gonna do about that? So I would say that, one, if you're a fan of the fake dating trope, you really like this book, but also if you are just a fan of the definition of a male main character who is down tremendous for the woman that he likes, try this. So you guys, those were the 3 cards that I pulled, and those were the 3 books that I recommended along with. I hope that you guys enjoyed. I hope that you guys will take some recommendations from this video, because I wouldn't recommend them if I didn't like them, and, you know, hopefully Twisted Lies will end up being good. You never know. I have 100 and something pages left in that book. You never know. All right, tomfoolery could go down in 5 pages or less. Okay? So let's not be too hasty here. So you guys, I hope that you've enjoyed. I hope that you'll continue to look out for more stuff on my channel. I hope that you guys are staying safe. And lastly, that you guys have a good rest of your day. Goodbye.